What's up, summoners? Welcome back to the Rift. Today we are diving straight into the patch 15.7 jungle tier list. Whether you're looking to hard carry in solo queue or just stop feeding at your promo games, I've got you covered. This patch brought some spicy changes, buffs, nerfs, and a few sleeper picks creeping up the ladder. We'll break it down by S, A, and B tiers and talk about which champs are dominating the meta, which ones are falling off, and who is secretly OP if you know how to play them right. Think you know who is king of the jungle right now? Leave it down in the comment. From gank heavy snowballers to objective control beasts, we are ranking them all based on win rate, pick rate, and overall impact across low and mid elos below Emerald. So if you're ready to stomp your games and climb fast, hit that like button, lock in Smite, and let's get into it. Let's talk about the two best junglers in patch 15.7, Naafiri and Jarvan. If you want consistent wins, pressure across the map, and control over the pace of the game, these are the champs to lock in. Starting with Naafiri, she is in a ridiculously strong spot right now. Probably the best all-rounder jungler this patch. What makes her so good isn't just her clear speed or ganks, it's the flexibility. She farms fast, which lets her completely avoid bad matchups, scales up, and pick her fight. Unlike mid lane, where she could get punished in rough matchups, jungle gives her the freedom to play around the map and still be relevant no matter the comp. Her mobility is insane now. She can reposition, constantly stick to carries, and with her engage can delete any carries. Now she's able to dodge a lot of CC and bursts that used to shut her down. Plus, the bruiser build eats crack. She's tanky, dishes out consistent damage, and she's slippery enough to survive even deep dives. There's really no major role in her kit anymore. She does it all: clear, skirmish, objective control, and scaling. That's why she is sitting comfortably at the top of the tier list. Now let's talk about Jarvan 4, a classic pick that just got saved by a crucial bug fix. His bonus AD wasn't being applied correctly before, but now that's fixed and suddenly he feels way stronger. And it shows. His early ganks are as reliable as ever and he farms well too, which wasn't always the case. He's a champion that just feels well designed, strong but not overloaded. He brings damage, tankiness, and engage, and his kit is so straightforward that he's effective at every level of play. In high elo, skilled players are using his combo potential to take over games. But even in lobby ranks, he's still a beast because of how simple and effective his gameplay is. You don't need flashy mechanics, just good timing and map awareness, and Jarvan can carry fights, secure objectives, and lead your team to victory. If you are jungling this patch and not picking Naafiri or Jarvan, you are missing out. They are powerful, reliable, and fit in almost every comp. These two aren't just good, they are meta-defining right now. Alright, moving into the S tier. These are the best picks in patch 15.7 for players who want to keep things simple but still effective, especially in lower ranks. If you're not trying to think too hard about the meta and just want champions that can consistently get the job done, S tier is your playground. Now I won't go over every single champion in the tier list, they are all solid obviously, but some of them are standout performers. Let's start with Warwick, a name that comes up every patch for a reason. Ever since his mini river, Warwick has been tearing through the low and mid elo games. He's insanely good at tracking low head targets, his sustain is off the charts, and his ganks are reliable with that fear and leap combo. He's one of those champs that just scares with your map awareness. You don't need to out-mechanic anyone, just play smart, follow the blood trail, and let Warwick do the rest. Simple, powerful, and consistent. If Warwick is the king of run you down gameplay, Nocturne is the cooler, flashier version with even more map impact. He's clear, he's clean, he farms fast, and his level 6 spike is one of the most threatening in the game. That ultimate shutdown vision creates chaos and forces in misplays from your opponents. He does everything Warwick does, but with more pressure and tempo. And once he's ahead, he snowballs hard. If you are looking for a carry potential with a low skill floor and high scaling, Nocturne is your guy. Now Darius in the jungle is a bit more niche, and yes, he did get weaker recently. But here's the thing, at lower ranks, none of that matters. Players just don't kite well enough or play around his cooldowns, and Darius punishes that hard. All he needs is one reset and it's game over. With just a single item, he starts deleting health bars and running people down. He is easy to understand, walk at them, pull, dunk, and when it works, it really works. Let's talk about Diana for a second. She is still strong, especially with her bruiser build. It gives her great durability and solid burst, but right now she feels a bit weaker than before. She doesn't have the same pop-up potential if dynamic comp is bad for her. Teams with long range poke like Serato Ziggs or super beefy comes with tanks like On, Sion or Maokai, those are rough for her. She struggles to get in and stay in. But when she is not facing comps like that, she is still a monster. Her jungler career is one of the best in the game, and if you find the right engage, she can still 1v9 team fights. Then there's Fiddlesticks, and this champ is the definition of mastery rewarded on paper. He is not flashy, and you won't see him picked in every game. But when he is played by someone who actually knows what they are doing, he is terrifying. A well-placed ult, fog control, and fear chain can flip a fight instantly. The problem is, most people just don't put in the reps. But if you commit to learning fiddle, vision control, patting, fake clones, the wall kit, you will become a menace in every elo. Another champ back on the rise is Lilia. A bug with her ult not going off properly was holding her back, but now that it's fixed, she is right back to being a strong pick. Her clear speed is fast, her mobility is top tier, and her scaling is fantastic. She is one of the few junglers who can kite out bruisers and tanks with ease, and she's especially good into melee heavy comps. If you want a fast-paced, high-skill champion that can teamfight and still outfarm the enemy jungler, Lilia is a great pick right now. If you're more into tanky, reliable playstyles, Amumu is still doing really well. He is super easy to play, great at teamfighting, and provides consistent CC. You don't need to do anything fancy, just land a good ult and you have done your job. He might not be flashy, but he's effective in every team comp and he brings real value to fights, especially in coordinated play or if your team locks engage. So yeah, as your dispatch is stacked, you have got options from high damage assassins to bruisers, tanks and AP picks. The beauty of this tier list is you don't need to overthink things. You just need to pick the right champ for your playstyle and execute. And for lower ranks, especially these champs will carry hard as long as you're playing confidently and not autopiloting. Now that we have covered the S and S plus monsters of the jungle, let's move into A tier, a group of champions that can still carry games but are a bit more situational or harder to execute. These aren't auto pick champs like Naafiri or Jarvan, but in the right hands or against the right comps, they can absolutely pop off. Starting with Kha'Zix. He just got buffed recently and it definitely helped his spot in the meta. But let's be honest, you still can't pick Ka into every comp. He thrives when the enemy team is squishy and isolated. Think champions like Ezreal, Lux, Yumi comes with a little peer or tankiness. In those games, he is a nightmare. His burst deletes targets before they can react and he can snowball fast. But if the enemy runs a beefy frontline or they group early, it's a rough time. So yeah, Kha'Zix A tier, but only if you know when to pick him. Then there is Graves. His clear is fast, his scaling is solid, and he can kite like a champ. But the issue right now, the jungle is getting more hostile for him. AP junglers like Lydia and Talia are strong again, and bruisers like Naafiri and Warwick, yeah, good luck kiting them out. Graves does well when he can control space and poke out enemies, but that's harder to do when everyone is diving your face. He's still playable, but compared to the powerhouses above him, you have got to work a lot harder for the same impact. Honestly, he might be sitting a little too high in A tier as it is. Next up are the situational tanks, Rammus and Poppy. These champs are as matchup dependent as it gets. Rammus is fantastic if the enemy team is mostly AD and reliant on autos. Into a comp with champs like Yasuo, Zeri, Jhin or Tryndamere, he is a brick wall. But if you're facing AP threats or range poke, he just doesn't bring much to the table. Same deal with Poppy. She's great at shutting down mobility. Her W can completely ruin dash heavy champs like Lee Sin, Viego or Tristana. But if you're not getting that value from her W, then she is basically just a mediocre bruiser or tank. There are just better options unless she is countering something specific. Then we have got the experimental pick, Yorick Jungle. He's been getting some adjustments that actually make him somewhat viable outside of top lane. His goals are stronger, his clear is decent, and if he gets a lead, he can pressure objectives and towers better than most junglers. But he's still a worth pick. You're basically playing a split pushing top laner in the jungle. So if your team needs frontline or engage, he is not it. He is niche, but not the best jungler anymore, definitely not broken. If you are someone who enjoys putting in the time to learn more mechanically demanding champions, Viego and Talia are both super rewarding right now. Viego's kit still has incredible carry potential. resets, healing, and winning power. But you need to manage his passive well and know when to commit. Talia, on the other hand, brings utility, damage, and objective control. Her wall can win fights on its own, and she is one of the better AP picks into melee-heavy comps. These aren't beginner-friendly champs, but if you are willing to put in the work, they will reward you with some serious carry potential. Let's stop Lee Sin. Now he's always a fan favorite, and sure, he's flashy. But in this patch, unless you are already Lee Sin main, you might want to pick someone else. His high scale cap and the margin of error is tiny. Other junglers right now just offer more consistency, better scaling, and cleaner teamfighting with way less effort. So yeah, maybe he's sitting a little too high in A tier. If you're not already a master, you're probably better off picking something else. A tier dispatch is filled with champs that can shine, but only if you really know how to use them or you pick them in the right games. They are not plug and play like the S tiers, but if you enjoy the challenge and want to stand out with your mechanics, game knowledge, or niche picks, this is the tier for you. Alright, wrapping up the tier list, let's talk about B and C tier junglers real quick. Starting with B tier, these are champions that can work, but don't expect them to shine consistently, especially in lower ranks. Most of them rely heavily on counterpicking or very specific team comps to feel effective. Take Elise for example. She still got an early pressure, but in solo queue people just don't close games fast enough. And if the enemy scares, she quickly falls off. Bren got some nice buffs, and yeah, he probably deserves to sit a little bit higher on paper. But the truth is, he is squishy, immobile, and landing scare shots when people are running everywhere is not easy, especially when bad positioning is such a common issue in lower ranks. And then there's Ivan. Look, he is actually really good in high elo. But unless you are playing coordinated games or have strong laners to play off, it's just not worth it. If you want that supportive jungler vibe, then there are better, more forgiving options out there. So yeah, B tier picks can work, but they are not reliable. You have got to know what you are doing, and even then, they rarely feel dominant. Now for C tier, just don't. These gems are either outdated, too niche, or just straight up underperforming this patch. There's really no reason to log them in unless you're trolling or trying to challenge yourself for fun. If you care about winning and climbing, stay far away from the C tier pool. Thanks so much for watching. If you found the tier list helpful, drop a like, hit that sub button, and leave a comment with your favorite jungler dispatch or who you think should have been ranked higher. And hey, if you want to actually get better and climb fast, don't forget to join the Discord. I've got free and paid coaching available, and new members get a free coaching session when they join. Links down below. Appreciate the support, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.